Cole Palmer isn't just in form. This isn't a hot streak, and it's definitely not luck. What you're watching is what happens when elite decision-making, ice-cold composure, and the right system collide in one player. The Premier League knew this moment was coming. Now it's here. 3 goals before halftime. Not once, not twice, 3 separate times. Everton, Brighton, Wolves. Games finished before defenders even understood what went wrong. But the scary part isn't the goals. It's how he scores them. No explosive pace, no flashy tricks, no chaos, just control. One late step, one rushed challenge, one panicked decision, and Cole Palmer makes you pay. This season, he hasn't even been fully unleashed. A lingering injury, managed minutes, stop-start rhythm, and still goals, records, history rewritten. This isn't peak Cole Palmer. This is the protected version. So here's the question every Premier League defender should already be asking. If this is Cole Palmer while being managed, what happens when he's finally unleashed at 100%? This isn't a moment of brilliance. It isn't a purple patch, and it definitely isn't a player riding confidence. Cole Palmer's impact is repeatable because it's built on structure. What makes Palmer dangerous isn't improvisation, it's precision. He doesn't rush actions. He doesn't force highlights. He arrives in the exact spaces where decisions become unavoidable, where defenders are already late, where penalties happen, where transitions end. Everything he does is rooted in control under pressure. His touches are deliberate. His positioning is calculated, and when the ball reaches him, the outcome is already chosen. That's why the numbers stay strong even when the rhythm disappears. Fewer touches in the box, lower dribble success, interrupted minutes, and yet the end product survives. Because this isn't form-dependent football, it's functional football. Palmer doesn't need freedom to dominate. He needs a framework, a system that puts him between lines, facing goal, with defenders forced to decide. Once that happens, mistakes become inevitable. This is why his rise doesn't feel chaotic or streaky. It feels engineered, designed, because what you're seeing isn't luck showing up repeatedly. It's a system doing exactly what it was built to do. This season hasn't been smooth for Cole Palmer. It hasn't been rhythmic. It's been fragmented, managed, carefully controlled. A lingering groin issue turned his campaign into a constant balancing act. In the squad, out of the squad, back again. Minutes monitored, fitness assessed game by game. No extended run, no chance to build momentum. Across the entire season, Palmer has played just 910 minutes over 14 appearances. His involvement dropped, fewer touches in the box, a noticeable dip in dribble success. The natural flow of his game was repeatedly interrupted, and yet the output never disappeared. 7 goals, 4 penalties taken, 4 converted, 3 free kicks, 3 goals, an expected goals figure of 5.99, meaning he's still outperforming expectation without volume shooting or sustained rhythm. That matters because this isn't a player riding confidence. This is a player producing while restricted, while protected, while never fully released. This isn't form surviving adversity, it's function overcoming disruption. Cole Palmer doesn't need perfect conditions to decide matches. Even in a broken season, he remains decisive. This is the moment where numbers stop being impressive and start becoming historic. Against Wolves, Cole Palmer didn't just score a hat trick, he rewrote Chelsea's Premier League record books. With those 3 goals, he reached 4 Premier League hat tricks for the club, more than Didier Drogba, Frank Lampard, or Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank ever managed in the competition. Names that defined eras. Now, Palmer sits above them. But even that isn't the full scale of what he's done. Palmer became the first player in Premier League history to score 3 first-half hat tricks. Not 3 hat tricks, 3 before halftime. Everton, Brighton, Wolves. 3 matches decided before the opposition could even reset, reorganize, or breathe. And the most frightening detail? Time. Against Wolves, it all happened inside 25 minutes. From the first penalty to the final open play finish, Palmer dismantled the game before halftime. While defenders were still arguing decisions, he was already ending the contest. This isn't repetition by coincidence, it's repetition by design. These hat tricks didn't come from the same types of goals. They didn't come in the same tactical contexts. Penalties, open play, different opponents, different pressures, same outcome. That's not form,
That's reliability. Great players have great days. Elite players create patterns. And when a player repeatedly decides matches before halftime, history doesn't just follow him, it gets dragged along.
Cole Palmer isn't collecting hat tricks. He's normalizing them. Cole Palmer doesn't play for highlights. He doesn't survive on tricks, explosive pace, or isolations on the wing. His game isn't built on spectacle. It's built on judgment. He reads situations faster than defenders can react to them. While others look for space after the ball arrives, Palmer positions himself where decisions are already about to happen. He doesn't chase the game. He waits for it to come to him. That's why his influence feels calm, not chaotic. He isn't trying to beat 3 players with skill moves. He's trying to beat one decision, one step taken too early, one defender leaning the wrong way, one moment of hesitation. Palmer slows the game down just enough to invite pressure, then exploits the space that pressure creates. This is why his dribbling numbers are efficient rather than flashy. Every action has a purpose. Every touch moves the game toward an outcome. This is also why his rise at Chelsea hasn't felt streaky or unpredictable. It's felt controlled, methodical, built on understanding rather than instinct alone. Cole Palmer isn't a player who overwhelms opponents. He outthinks them. And in modern football, that kind of intelligence is far more dangerous than speed or flair. To understand why Cole Palmer's rise wasn't a surprise, you have to look beyond the headlines and into the data from the 2023-24 Premier League season. Palmer finished that campaign with 22 goals and 11 assists from 33 starts, a total of 33 goal contributions. No player in the league was directly involved in more goals that season. That alone places him in elite territory. But the underlying numbers are what confirmed this wasn't luck-driven output. His expected goals stood at 18.18. That tells us his scoring wasn't built on low-quality chances or wild overperformance. He was consistently arriving in high-value scoring zones. Creatively, the pattern holds. His expected assists reached 8.73, showing that the chances he created should have been converted. Palmer wasn't forcing passes or gambling possession. He was creating opportunities with intent. His positioning reinforces that picture. Palmer recorded 140 touches inside the opposition box, a figure more commonly associated with central forwards than wide midfielders. Yet, despite that advanced presence, he still completed over 1,370 passes at an 83% completion rate, while attempting progressive long balls with a 66% success rate. This balance is the key to his profile. Control without caution, ambition without recklessness. The 2023-24 season didn't just introduce Cole Palmer to the Premier League, it defined him as a player built on repeatable, intelligent influence, not moments, but sustained impact. Nowhere is Cole Palmer's mentality clearer than from the penalty spot, because penalties don't just test technique, they expose mindset. In his debut Premier League season, Palmer scored 9 penalties from 9 attempts. Perfect execution every time. And these weren't comfortable moments in already decided games. Many came late during comebacks or in matches where Chelsea's momentum depended on a single action. What stands out is how little his approach changes. No drama, no hesitation, no exaggerated run-up. He picks a corner and executes. The environment doesn't matter. The pressure doesn't register. That emotional flatline is what makes him so dangerous. Defenders feel it too. Palmer doesn't rush them. He invites them forward. He slows the game just enough to let panic creep in, then punishes the mistake. This is why his dribbling is efficient rather than spectacular. He isn't trying to humiliate opponents. He's trying to force a decision. In the 2023-24 season, Palmer completed 98 dribbles at a 53% success rate, not because he avoids risk, but because he chooses it carefully. One defender, one moment, one outcome. This is pressure football without chaos, confidence without arrogance, execution without emotion. Cole Palmer doesn't rise to the occasion. He treats it like routine, and that's what makes him lethal.
The following season brought a subtle shift in Cole Palmer's game. Raw output dipped slightly, 15 goals and 8 assists, but the underlying story told a different tale. His influence remained elite, perhaps even more refined. His expected goals rose to 17.28, and his expected assists climbed to 9.14. The numbers revealed a player finding better positions more consistently, even if finishing rates fluctuated. It wasn't regression, it was variance in outcomes, a natural feature of sustained elite performance. Palmer's responsibility expanded beyond finishing. He attempted 77 crosses, took 75 corners, and completed 1,310 passes at the same game-high 83% accuracy. He became less of a final touch player and more of the structural engine linking Chelsea's build-up to their attack. Defensively, he quietly grew too. Tackles increased to 34. Duels won reached 147, and positional discipline remained impeccable. Palmer's evolution wasn't about flashy highlights. It was about becoming indispensable to the system. Even in a season where numbers on paper looked modest, his impact was structural, not sporadic. He wasn't just finishing sequences, he was creating them, orchestrating them, and controlling the moments when matches were decided. Cole Palmer wasn't riding streaks anymore. He was shaping them.